Everyone, welcome to the show. So, the Senate passed a promising bill yesterday. Now we have to see if the House can get it together and get this approved as well, but it would be a big deal for working people. Before I get into the details, though, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you, really, really helps the show. So, I appreciate it. So, here is what all went down in the Senate. Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen presented a bill, it's no tax on tips bill. She presented this for unanimous consent, and no other senator objected. So that means it automatically passes. So this is a draft bill, or I should say, it was a bill that was drafted and introduced earlier this year by Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Surprisingly good thing coming from Ted Cruz. I mean, never going to probably hear me say that again. But what this bill would do, it would allow workers to write off up to $25,000 of their tips on their taxes. There's only a couple of caveats as far as I understand it. So one, the employees, they can't make more than $160,000 a year in order to qualify for this. So that's based on 2025 numbers. So anybody making $160,000 or less, they would qualify. More than that, like I said, they would no longer be eligible. That maximum also would increase over the years. So as inflation rises, the 160,000 would increase. Also, they can only claim, or you, if you're someone who makes money via tips, you can only claim cash tips. So I assume that means if someone leaves a tip with a debit card or a credit card, that would be disqualifying. So this bill appears to differ from what I shared with you last week, which is included in the House's large tax bill. As I mentioned the other day, the House bill provides a yearly write-off for tips, but there's no cap on the amount. And then that in what's in the House bill is that it expires as of January 1st, 2029. So it's only, for 4 years that it would be in effect. So we'll see what the House does with this. They could pass it as a standalone bill. They could try to incorporate it into the larger piece of legislation that they're working on. The issue that I see is with the budget hawks in the House. They want Trump's budget to be fiscally neutral, meaning that it wouldn't add anything to the current deficit. With Trump's tax cuts for the rich, though, that already blows that goal out of the water. As it stands, Trump's budget bill, from what we're hearing, it's going to increase the deficit by somewhere around $4 to $5 trillion or more. Those are really conservative estimates. And here's the other thing that really gets under my skin about this. I mean, I'm happy that people who make tips, a lot of them are the working poor and the working class. This would definitely help them, but it doesn't help anybody else. There are plenty of people in this country who are making minimum wage, who are barely getting by, who do not make tips, who work multiple jobs just to get by, just to keep a roof over their head, just to feed their children. This does nothing for them. So a lot of progressives are saying, look, why don't you extend the child tax credit, which lifted so many people out of poverty, or, approve something like a basic income across the board. I mean, it just doesn't help enough people. Is it a step in the right direction? Yes. Am I glad that every senator approved it? Every senator was like, yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's go for it. Yes, it tells me that they are understanding and moving towards a different way, that they understand that there's a populist movement that they need to respond to and, be more aware of. So Those are all good things, but again, it just doesn't do enough. It doesn't help enough people in this country who are truly struggling, especially when you're trying to give way more in tax breaks to the wealthy in this country. So, I mean, this is, oh, here's your pittance, for the working poor, here's your little pittance, but then we're going to go give thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands in tax breaks to the wealthy who don't need it whatsoever, and then we're going to complain about, oh, the deficit. I mean, it's just ridiculous what we're dealing with in this country. I mean, this is why we need to get money out of politics, because they are so much more beholden to and responsive to the wealthy. And it needs to completely be flipped on its head. So, anyway, guys, I will let you know what happens with this. I will keep you apprised of what's going on with the overall tax bill that they're trying to pass. There are more things in there, more giveaways for the wealthy. No big surprise that I will have details on later this week. So, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video. Please share it with others so they know what's going on. Please subscribe if you have not. As I said, it really helps the show. And if you can donate, it truly helps to keep this show going. So I greatly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.